How's it going? This is Nick Prizzi with Reef Addiction Aquariums in Coral Springs, Florida. I'm here with Richard, also known as the Aficionado, doing some comparison testing with home test kits today versus commercial test kits. Hopefully this will help you out with some knowledge of different ways and tactics of testing and how important it is to test your aquarium. All right, today, first and foremost, we're going to start with alkalinity, a very key test kit, something you should definitely test for in your parameters of your water quite often. We do here at my store every day, if not every other day at least. We mainly use Hanna, but we definitely back it up with Salifert every once in a while to compare. So today we're going to first compare the different variables we're going to find versus Hanna and Salifert. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and check out the Hanna alkalinity tester, which we commonly use to shop. We've got the first vial here with no reagent in it, obviously. And then we got my second vial here with the Hanna alkalinity reagent in it. We'll go ahead and start this off real quick. As soon as you put the non-reagent test tube in, you're going to see C1 pop up on the screen. Push the button, pretty simple. Let this sit for a second. The way we do it is when you add the reagent to the tube, you do not want to shake it. You want to go ahead and invert it a couple times, get nice and mixed up, but you don't want to cause bubbles or anything like that inside the tube. Now we're ready. Add C2. Go ahead and take out just the regular sample, add the reagent sample, hit the button one time, and wait. All right, so we went ahead and got a reading of 168 on the Hanna checker. What we want to do now is convert that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in 168 times 0.056. That's going to go ahead and give us a reading of 9.4. A little high on the alkalinity scale for myself. It's not deadly, not dangerous, but we typically tend to keep our tanks closer to 8. So this might be something of concern depending on the tank. So let's go ahead and try out the Salifert test. So we went ahead and added the first solution. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm on the second solution, Salifert. I'm going to go drop by drop, swirling while I'm going until I get a color change. We're at blue. We should be changing over here shortly to pink. But once you start noticing it changing, I recommend slowing down your drops and swirling in between to make sure you're fully changing over. And there we go. Now, based off of this chart, we are reading that we're at 10.9, so we're definitely getting a significant difference in testing. So we might, when something like this happens, I might want to double check with the Hanna. In my personal opinion, it seems to be the most accurate. But you know, we're definitely getting a big flux. We were at 9.4 with the other one, I believe. All right, we're going to go ahead and start now with phosphate testing. First with the Hanna reader, and then we'll move on to Salifert. This is just a plain vial testing the water. We have our second vial with the reagent in it ready to go. Go ahead and push the button. Now with this test versus the alkalinity test, you are going to go ahead and shake this and let this settle up really well. It's a powdered reagent rather than a liquid the alkalinity has. So we'll go ahead and do that. And another important thing to remember with phosphate testing on the Hannas, you need to, once you show the reading C2, you're going to go ahead and need to hold the button down until you get a 3-minute timer, like so. So we'll let that sit for 3 minutes, and we'll have the results back in a minute, see what happens. So we went ahead and did the testing with the Hanna and as well with the Salifert kit. Definitely came back with two drastically different answers. Salifert reading came back significantly different than the Hanna. Hanna was reading 1.20, Salifert is reading 0.75. Obviously a big difference in swings. Definitely not accurate in one way or the other, so I guess we have to find out. All right, so we went ahead and tried out nitrates now. For nitrates, we went ahead and used API and Salifert test kits. I have the results back here, and believe it or not, this seems to be the one out of all three that we've tried today That is the closest in similarity test-wise. None of them seem to be completely spot on the same, which definitely leads me with some questions to know, really where we're at. API is reading somewhere close to between 60 and 80 parts per million, while Salifert is reading closer to 50 and 60, so not too far off when it came to the Salifert for the nitrate testing, but definite fluctuations in all these results we've gotten today, so I'm real curious to see what we can come up with more commercial testing. All right, so we just wrapped up doing our final test, which was magnesium. We went ahead and used the Salifert magnesium test kit. Thankfully, the water results came back pretty good. It's at 1320. Typically, you want to stay around 1350. Definitely not far off, so seems everything read fine with this test kit. All right, so we're pretty much wrapped up all the testing we did today. Comparison-wise, we only were able to do phosphate and nitrate. We did also go ahead and test the other parameters, calcium. Calcium did come back reading high, 490 to be exact. We also went ahead and tested specific gravity. Specific gravity came back at 1.026, which is a good range for this tank, being that it's a reef tank. Everything seemed to check out except for obviously his phosphates and his nitrates. So my friend Richard here will be doing a big water change for these folks. How's it going? This is Nick with Reef Addiction Aquariums in Coral Springs. I'm back with Richard of Aficionado channel. A couple weeks back we sent out water for testing comparison. We did some Salifert, API, and Hanna testing here at Reef Addiction that were sent out to Aqua Aquarium water testing for comparison. We did get those results back and we want to go over them now and see what we got. Hanna alkalinity, we were reading 8.4 here. The results coming back were 9.4 from Aqua. So there was probably the biggest varied result that we got out of everything else that we tested for. Phosphates were spot on. Nitrates were close. We got back around 120 from Aqua. Test kits that we did here were 80 using API. Magnesium Salifert test we did in store. The results that came back from Aqua were spot on, exactly the same results. Calcium varied slightly. We tested here around 490. The results coming back from Aqua were around 450. There's a list of many other results that came back. Obviously, these are the ones that we compared in shop. When you do go with Aqua testing, they're going to send you a full chart, potassium, everything you can imagine, top to bottom results. Okay, well, based on the results that we got testing in-house, there was definitely some variables here and there. I think it would definitely be in our best interest in the aquarium hobby to go ahead and compare every few weeks, maybe every few months. Our test kits in-house seem to be pretty accurate for the most part. I don't think it would hurt, and I think you'd also get some benefit from testing with Aqua on occasion, just to get that full spot-on result. Thank you. All right, once again, it's Nick here at Reef Addiction Aquariums, Coral Springs. I would thank you for watching the show. I appreciate Richard from Aficionado channel coming out. I definitely learned a lot. I was glad we were able to do this study pretty much and see comparison results and test kits. Thank you again for coming out. I hope you enjoy the video.